Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Scott Kidd. And what we're going to talk about, besides his journey in business and in real estate and what he's doing is some of the projects he's currently working on and how, in this environment, how he's going to work through those things. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. We provide tools and resources to grow the business they want, which in turn helps live the life they've always dreamed of. So Scott, man, welcome to our show.
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. Really appreciate it.
I don't know if I should call you Captain Kidd. I'm very, very excited to talk about, the whole yacht captain thing and then your journey to real estate. But before we do that, let's go into your background, man. Like, what got you into the business? What got you into real estate? And what got you to today?
Well, what got me into it is working on the yachts. It's an unstable business. So, it's here today, gone today. I'm basically working on a wealthy person's toy. So their business takes a dip, they get a divorce, death in the family, or they just lose interest, or anything can happen. The toys are usually the first thing to go, and usually the yachts are the first ones. So, I've been through many cycles where the jobs have gone away, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So just preparing for. I always had some kind of a side hustle, and so as my family got bigger, because I'm married with kids, we bought another house and then rented it out and then moved up from there and then learned about multifamily and syndication. And I thought that was a better scalable model because I spend quite a bit of time on the water. So I want to be able to add value to whatever team I'm working with. So I figured I'd focus more on raising capital, investor relations, capital markets, and things like that, so that I could be of benefit, because working on the yachts, I'm usually the team leader. Everything starts and ends with me. But, on the multifamily, as I'm not the most experienced as a lot of the other people on our team, just going through that and knowing what it takes to be a great team member. It's nice because I always just try to focus on adding value and seeing how I can be of benefit to the team, and I found that because I'm very good at connecting with people and making connections that, because we have to make connections really fast on the yachts. The timeline's usually yesterday. So I'm good at finding, when the wealthy guy or lady asks the question, usually you have to have a solution or have it solved before they finish. So it's kind of a different world, but that's what got me there, is because I just wanted to grow and saw the economies of scale in commercial real estate, multifamily, and it made sense for what I'm doing, because I can do a lot of this stuff while I'm still working on rotation on the boat. And
Right.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So if you ever watch any of my podcasts, I like to go back. What first got you into yachting or being a yacht captain? I mean, were you around boats your whole life? I mean, is it just something like, hey, this is cool?
Not really. I mean, my dad, he had a trucking business, and he bought a sailboat, and I did a little bit of sailing, but you know, in the late '90s, I was in the tech world, and I did, you know, I got hit with the .com bust, and I also had my own business with my partner, and we had some issues there, and we ended up, long story short, lost the business, and I was back in Jamaica, where I'm originally from. My dad's Jamaican, mom's American, and I was back there, and a friend of a friend said, hey, do you want to work on a boat for the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show? And I said, well, I don't know anything about working on boats, but I'll, you know, I'm not doing anything here. Things are not really
But
working out
sure,
here
why not?
either.
Yeah.
Sure. And he said, is that going to be a problem that I don't have any experience? And I said, no, just get here and work. So I borrowed the money for the airplane ticket, and my friend Merrick gave me some money, put in my pocket, and I landed in Fort Lauderdale with basically about $20 in my pocket and probably a negative in the tens of thousands. And I knew, you know, and I never really looked back, but I knew, you know, you get back to the States, you know, it's, you know, sky's the limit, you know, because, you know, best country in the world, that's all relative to your likes, dislikes, cultural, you know, beliefs and disbeliefs. But make no mistake, as far as like financial opportunity, it's like no other. There's nothing even close.
So you work your way up, I would assume, right? You probably started on like a deckhand, worked your way up to be the boat captain, which is really awesome. I grew up in Southern California. We went out and did a lot of deep sea fishing, and you know, I'd always hang around the captain's the
wheelhouse.
The wheelhouse. That's what I couldn't say. Yeah, cool. I'd always hang around there, and I'd always like listen. I always talk to deckhands and be like, man, this would be the coolest job.
Yeah.
So where did real estate come in? I mean, did you have any type of influence early in your life? I mean, I know you mentioned really kind of like the economy and stuff, and you were looking at different things. How did you find real estate?
Well, the first captain I worked for that trained me and showed me is pretty much family. Well, his family, him and their family, they took me in and taught me a lot. And he was telling me a lot about real estate and how he bought his house and everything else. And he said, look, you know, you don't seem to spend a lot of money on a lot of things or anything. I'm not a very materialistic person, but he said, look, you buy some real estate, put it away, put it into something. And, you know, so I did buy my house there. And then how I got into the multifamily and syndication, I was with some friends on the beach, and a friend of mine, he was telling me that he bought and sold a 46 unit in Houston, Texas. And he said he had made X amount of money, you know, in the seven figures, him and his brother. So, you know, and I said, well, wow, you know, you can do that. And he said, yeah, you can do it. I did it. Anybody can do it. And I said, well, that was kind of my light bulb moment. So that's where I started learning as much as I could, going to meetups, you know, trying to meet as many people as possible, reading every book I could get my hand on, YouTube University. Thank you, God, for that, because I still look up everything on YouTube, because it's just such a great platform to learn and do, you know, learn about anything you want to. There's a video on YouTube,
right?
I guarantee it.
Did you seek out any mentorship, anybody, like any coaching, any courses? I mean, anything to help accelerate, or was it just the YouTube stuff?
I did, and eventually, you know, I learned about coaching. personal business development coach. I did masterminds. I've been at several. There was a deal maker mastermind, which was Michael Blanc, and then.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Greystone with my friend John Way, and Octane Multifamily with Tate Seymour, and there was another one. I was in Raise Masters Mastermind for raising capital, and currently I'm in Greystone Mastermind with my friend John Way. It's more of a group, and I started my own meetup, and I just kind of wanted to attract more people that because I didn't know a lot about any of this stuff. Even though my first captain's job, I worked for a real estate developer that had been his family's still developing since the 50s.
Wow.
After World War II, and they're I think they develop in the 600 to 800 homes a year, plus city centers and condos and stuff, and they're
incredible.
Pretty decent outfit, and they're actually pretty big, and they're privately held, so they're. And I learned a lot from the guy that gave me my first job. He actually helped me, gave me some advice on buying my first home. So I didn't. I always just kind of try to put myself around people that know a lot more than I do, because I'm still always learning, and I didn't realize, just as far as everything goes, that it's always a learning process, like any career I've had. And for me, I always just feel like I'm just getting started. Every day I get up, I'm like, wow, I can do this, this, and it just keeps getting, any plateau I get to is you look up and there's another peak.
So how long are you going to continue to yacht captain for?
Until, what do they say that Charlton Heston said, from my cold dead hands.
So I call that the PLC. What are some of the challenges that you're coming across in your real estate business, right? Like, I mean, I know when you started getting into the bigger mold. What are some of the challenges you came across, and how did you overcome those?
Well, in the challenges, a lot of it was just the first initial one was trying to do everything myself and trying to do it, not realizing, people had told me you need a team and stuff, especially when you get into multifamily and stuff. And we, with the smaller real estate apartments and stuff, we had joint ventures, which I recommended a lot, because it's a big learning curve about all the stuff that goes into it. And after doing a couple of those, I realized that I wouldn't be able to keep up that pace or be able to do it without a bigger team and more people. So there's where I moved more into syndication and focused on the, raising capital and investor relations, capital markets, and creating those relationships, because there you can really kind of grow with a team, especially if you have a great team.
Yeah. What are some of the things that helped you excel faster, right? I mean, obviously when you're going in, you don't know much, it's going to be hard to get people to lend you money, right? Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that helped you get over some of those hurdles?
Those were really just meeting people that were doing it and learning from their mistakes. That, I would say, was probably my biggest accelerator, because they would tell me, just because a lot of people, and I do this myself, like if I've gone through something, I certainly don't want someone, especially I see someone that's hard charging and going for it, I want them to make that jump, because on the boats I've had five people that are now captains, and I'm hoping that a lot of them have gone on and they're going to supersede anything I do, because their careers are still just getting started, some of them. And so I'd like to see other people jump ahead. So I've learned more and accelerated it by just learning from other people and other team members that are my senior, that are that have done it, and they say, well, look, in the downturn we did X, Y, and Z. So make sure you have these things in place.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yep.
So that you can jump past, and that, and those were things that I wasn't aware of. Didn't mean that I wouldn't have thought about it later, but putting that in place now is much better than 10 years from now when you're under the gun.
Yeah,
and
save you time
you're
and
fighting,
money.
and you're fighting to survive. Maybe that gets you from the point where you don't have to fight to survive. You can just kind of do the steps and get through.
When you started raising capital, right, when you started getting out there, a lot of people are afraid to ask people for money. I mean, it's just that is their hang up. That's their thing. It's like, they don't feel that they maybe bring value or anything like that. So, like, what were some of the things you overcame or used to overcome mindset to not have that problem? And maybe you didn't have that problem, but like, what do you think mindset-wise you need to have when you're going in and approaching, asking someone for couple grand, a couple hundred grand, couple million, whatever it might be?
Well, I think the thing that took me a little bit to learn was that, just because I think something's a great deal doesn't mean that it's a great deal for somebody else. We're all in different places in our lives and different risk tolerances. I have friends that flip homes, that people that they only deal with industrial and stuff, and a lot of these things are things that I don't know a whole lot about. I mean, I know the synopsis of it, but like flipping homes, or I have another friend that they have over 200 single family homes, and they told me they were afraid to get into multifamily just because it's too big and everything. And I said, well, what you're doing is scaring me, and I think
you're too big. You have 200 doors. Let's just have 200 doors under one roof.
Yeah, I would say you're a lot more impressive to me than what I think what I'm doing. I think is a little easier.
Yeah.
But I was like, I had to give them, tip my hat to them, because they're still doing it, and they're still buying more homes and building and doing that. And I said, the systems that you have, it's the same thing. It's going to be a much smaller task in the bigger properties, and you're going to realize that maybe there's a transition there, but it was basically alignment of interest, realizing that it's all about the investor. It's what do they need, like what problem or what am I solving for them, or what value am I creating for them? Like, are they close to retirement, or they don't necessarily need the big cash flow? Maybe they want, that maybe they just want an X multiple of at a certain point, or maybe they need a tax strategy or something. So, because we're doing development, most of our stuff right now is development. So, that's not necessarily for somebody that wants the cash flow, 'cause there won't be any for a couple of years.
A while.
If any, until it's developed, because ours are all built to sell. So, in 3 years or so, when it sells, that's when you really get your multiple, or your partial return, or your full return.
Right.
So it's, all things are not for all people. And that was something that I had to kind of learn the hard way by talking to so many people. And I'm, also another thing that is I don't have a big sales background. So I'm not exactly your typical sales person, because I'm a captain, so I'm in operations. If somebody asks me, hey, how does that work? This is, it's this.
Right.
It's because we don't have time, and our speed of execution has to be yesterday. So we go like that, and we go down the line and execute. So when somebody asks me a question, that's what I give them. So I kind of had to learn a little more to kind of more focus on getting to know the investor, rather than just showing them something and then talking about it. Because I don't, I didn't really come up in a lot of things in other businesses where I was the the front man or the salesperson or what have you. So that was a unique thing for me, but I've found that it's actually been to my benefit. I mean, to their benefit too, because when they ask me, they get a straight answer, and I'm very open to communicating because as the team leader on the boat, I have to make sure everybody has the tools they need, have the tools they need to succeed. So
Right.
that comes and starts first with me communicating what the actual goal is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So let's talk about some of your current projects and things that you're doing.
Okay, well, right now we're building out a fund for a new development in Dallas and Kansas City. We have some medical offices in Kansas City, and those have all been closed out, our surgical centers. And in Dallas, we have 4 multifamily projects with 3 parcels in each about 120 units, and they can all be done simultaneously. And we're focusing on looking for some JV equity partners and some retail investors that want to take the ride with us and build out and develop all these projects. And it's set up that way because from 100 to 130 units in each parcel, so that the build out is a lot quicker and the return of capital is a lot faster. After about 9 months, you're looking at pre-leasing, and then after the first of the year and a year and a half, you're still leasing up, but it's done, and then you're moving towards the next one, and that one is starting to cash flow and pay back. So you can either move into the other one, and with our development partner, these can all be built simultaneously, provided all the capital is there. That's why we're looking for a lot of different partners that want to go with us concurrently on all these projects. Our one project in Waxahachie is already under construction. That's already going and closed up. So we're just looking to do the other 3, and there's more coming, and that's why we're building out the fund so we can also continuously raise and keep moving in the same. And it's all kind of on a formula where they're all very similar,
Right.
to where it's the same product, so that if the investors miss on this one, they can move into the next one or the next parcel or the next stage. And they're all South Dallas, which we really like because there was a lot of stuff that came online in 2024, and a lot of people were thinking that a lot of these units that were coming online nationwide, that there was going to be a glut. But in Dallas and some other places, especially ours are in the South Dallas in that triangle I-35. A lot of the product that came online was in North Dallas, and and most of it I thought it would be saturated, so I kept watching, and I saw that all of that got absorbed. Whereas like in Austin, Texas, a lot of it's still being absorbed now. It's going to take a little bit longer because there was a lot more built there. But Austin, I think, is still going to be a great market going forward just because of all the people moving there. Dallas as well, Houston, and it's kind of a unique thing. I think it's a great opportunity for myself and for our team to be, partnered with great developers that have 3 decades of experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they've built, I don't know how many of these that have gone full cycle. They used to build for a family office, and they're still managing about 2,500 units in the Missouri region, Kansas City, St. Louis. So that's one of the biggest pluses for me is just being around more people that are seasoned and that have that experience. And when he explained to me that's how he was going to do each parcel, because he's built 350, 400 units at a time. And he said, well, then the lease up is, 18 months to 2 years. So then you got a lot of time to cover. You have to cover all that cost for relatively 2 years, whereas you're looking at a little over 1 year. So it all made sense to me, and just being around people that have done it is a big bonus for me, and I'm really, really happy about it, really excited about all of this moving forward.
Yeah, it sounds like you got some great things coming up. If there's folks that are on here listening and they want to maybe invest with you, they want to just talk about your journey, maybe they want to, rent you as a yacht captain. I don't know. How do they get in touch with you?
Well, you can find everything that you need about me, my podcast, my social media, everything on investwithscottkid.com. Everything's right there.
Awesome.
And also, my wife is a charter broker. If you do need those services.
Very cool. Where charter broker? Where?
At Ocean Independence. She's in Florida. So
Okay, in Florida.
I'm just the captain. She's the admiral.
Got it. Right on. She's the one that writes the checks. Scott, I appreciate you coming on here, man, sharing your story. I love it. Guys, if you're out there listening and you maybe might be looking to invest in the Dallas area or join in some investments, please reach out to Scott. Thank you again. And guys, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.